All right, everybody. We are live here. Hopefully stays working for me. Welcome to another episode of Onward and Upward. Which is Onward and Upward is a nonprofit that was started by Dr. Anna Maria Blevin 4 years ago, or by about 4.5 now. To help help people who people in the homeless population and veterans with finding employment. I have been with Onward and Upward for just over 1.5 years. Since March of 2020. We also have a for-profit called Prosperity Pathways, which started like 8 years ago. And that's also about helping people finding employment. But it's not specifically the homeless population or veterans like Onward and Upward is. As of late, we have had quite a few things that have been going on. A few months ago, we are a part of the Happy Neighborhood Project. And a few months ago, I had the idea that there should maybe be a nonprofit meeting, and then the Happy Neighborhood Project. We were able to get Edwin's approval and officially launched mid to end of September, which is for nonprofits and businesses to come together and help collaborate with and help each other, with whatever they need to accomplish their mission. So if anybody's interested, please join us. Go to the happyneighborhoodproject.com website. And while oh boy, while we're on that same subject, or the Happy Neighborhood Project topic, we are currently looking for our co-hosts, and so if anybody is interested, to please let us know. And one of our co-hosts that we have for our Wisconsin, Minnesota meeting is going through a rather tough situation right now, she and her husband. And they have some medical issues going on, and are, if things don't change soon, they could be couldn't like not have a house anymore. They have started a GoFundMe to raise at least $15,000. They have at least gotten at least a third of the way there. But if anybody is interested in donating or helping out that cause in any way, to let us know. And as we just became this past week,
You put that link in the chat if you have it.
yes, I will. I'll get it down here. But we another person we know out of the Happy Neighborhood Project started a we kind of helped her get her own kind of podcast started called World of Women, or WOW. And it's I see women coming in and telling their stories, and then also getting the male side of the conversation. And so anybody who is interested in that, feel free to reach out for that. And viable while we are on that subject. The idea came up of possibly starting because Onward and Upward is all about and prosperity pathways too, but for sure Onward and Upward is all about the veterans. And so another coworker of mine sort of had the idea of that maybe, because Maria has her Veterans Onward to Prosperity TV show. Which for me in a sense a podcast. But my Corey thought maybe we could have a new separate like all veteran podcast. And I did end up asking a few veterans group that I was in. And a few of them said that they were interested. So now it's just or they're interested in being involved somehow with the creation of this podcast. And so now I have to follow up with them and see where we go from here. See if this comes to fruition or not. Should be probably kind of cool if it happened. So hopefully, so if there are any veterans out there who are interested and or willing to be a part of a podcast, whether that's being a guest or hosting it or anything else related to a veteran podcast, to please reach out to me and Kurt Raskoff. And the Anna Maria's veteran TV show, which is through the Disability Channel out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It's been actually going well. From what I've heard, it's fine. Well, first of all, we've had all good um, good people on there as guests so far, at least in my opinion. But also, I guess, we've had what's the word? We've been getting a lot of views and so that's always a good thing. But in the last month or two here, but I've also created a veteran coalition that is in the in the process of organizing a 222 to Save 22 event, which is going to be in February, February 22nd. To help combat the veteran suicide. And right now we are going to be having a drone ball drop, a smash party, a concert and dinner, a job fair, among other things. The location of this event is yet to be determined, but stay tuned for more updates on this event. It is going off of the oldest district of 22 veterans 22 veterans dying per day. But in the last week or two, we've learned that it has actually gone from 22 and is now up to at least 33. It's kind of going in not in the direction we're wanting at the moment. So this event is to, or hopefully will help in getting the number to start going down. And the this coalition that was started a month or two ago is made up of 6 different organizations. With Onward and Upward being one of them, along with the Veterans Ranch, which is down in Lakeland, Florida. Project Die Hard, which is out of Kentucky. It has a facility in Illinois. Faith, Hope, and Love for Veterans over in North Carolina. Hope Advanced over in Colorado Springs. And VWAS, which is the Veterans Lawyer One-Stop Shop. Which is out of Tennessee. And we are always so those are the yeah, so we're always looking for ways to help veterans and actually pretty much anybody in need, especially with employment and housing. There is another organization out of Colorado that Onward and Upward has partnered with in the last couple of months as well. Called Community Pay It Forward. Which is a organization that a percentage of sales for our company would go towards any go to any nonprofit and or community organization that they choose. And a couple of the well, and another person who's kind of gotten involved lately too. Another person out of Colorado. Yeah, we have quite a few people from Colorado now. With somebody with a organization called Graduated Hope. Then helps people with housing, different groups like youth and those who are homeless, those who've been incarcerated. It's on with finding or with housing, which is kind of right up, onward and upwards. Alley with helping people find housing, with the homeless population, which at the beginning of this year, we Onward and Upward had just started getting Onward and Upward was involved our heads. I don't want to explain this. Onward and Upward had earlier this year, at the beginning of the year, Onward and Upward had started a housing program, and but and we had going forward okay, so we have started our own housing program, and it was going fine for a while, but then we ran into a bit of a sort of a snag, so to speak. And we are looking to get back into doing our housing program again. But I guess you say it's sort of temporarily on hold for a minute until, or not for a minute, temporarily on hold until we can get that situation kind of figured out. If there is anybody who we are always looking for people to volunteer with us for onward and upward prosperity pathways. Yeah, we're always looking for people. And if there is anyone who is interested in helping us out in any way, whether that's volunteering to help with something, or are interested in sponsoring or making a donation, or, and of course, as I was referring someone to our organization, please feel free to reach out. Just back to thinking about podcasts. The person who runs Community Pay It Forward is also starting his own podcast, like the World of Women. It's not going to be called World of Women, but he is. It's actually going to be called Pact, which is podcast. All coming together. And it is debuting on January 5th at 6 Central, 5 Mountain, 7 Eastern. A couple of our coalition members are going to help and kick that off. A few of the people that are in our coalition right now, Kurt and I met through a veteran Roger Networking Group out of Colorado Springs. Yeah, so I guess if you really like Colorado, this is of late. But yeah, Colorado has a lot of veterans. But a few of the people that we have on our coalition, we met through this veteran networking group called VetNet, which Garrett and I attend virtually via Zoom. And it's every Tuesday at 9:30 Central, 8:30 Mountain. Which they start out with everybody kind of introducing, giving like a 1 or 2 minute intro or overview of them and their organization, followed by the president of the coalition saying a few things, which is then followed by a speaker, which whether that's one of the veteran attendees of the group, or I'm not sure if they've had anybody else, but the person gives like a 20-minute presentation, and then there's time for questions and so on. If anybody is interested in that, hopefully let us know. And we have quite a few things going on as of late. So if anybody is interested. Kurt and I are also involved with what's called the 12 o'clock shakedown. And this 12 o'clock shakedown was started by a person out of Madison, Wisconsin. And it's called 12 o'clock shakedown because it happens every day at 12 p.m. Central. And it is 15 minutes of music and motion. 80s music is played, and it's just and then he does some different moves, and you can either do the same thing he's doing, or if you aren't able to do whatever that is, then you can always modify or do something else, as long as one is moving. That's what's important. And it is how we do have a group that meets on Zoom for it, but it is live streamed to Facebook, and then after the 15 minutes is over, then whoever is there has a little bit of a social time for a little while after the 15 minutes. And it's been going on for a year and a half, just over a year and a half. And it was started in a response to the pandemic, and how the person in charge was it helped him doing this, like helped him feel better. And so he's been doing it ever since. Okay, so I keep jumping back and forth here, but we have been all about our veterans as of, well, not saying that we for everybody else too, but there's been a or of a what do you want to call it? A special affinity to and well, affinity. We've just got kind of a been going kind of strong on our veteran side as of at least last a couple months. And there are a couple events that are coming up besides the one that we're doing in February. A couple of our people on our coalition, Project Die Hard and the Veterans Ranch, are both holding events. with the first one being Project Die Hard's event, which is was exactly a week from yesterday. On December 16th, which is going to be a virtual tour. And they're trying to raise like $8,000 or $8,000 to help get the facility that they have up and going, fix up and update code and get their program going off the ground. And the other event is in January, middle of January 14th. That the Veterans Ranch is putting on. But if anybody is interested in finding out more info on either of those events or anything else, to please reach out to us. Another thing that has come up in the last couple of months, which we've had since the end of this summer, early fall, but just in the last couple months, it's kind of gotten changed and turned into, for all of us, changed from a, well, it's still, man, the idea is still the same, that there's the name kind of got changed. Our ability movement, ability revolution campaign, has now kind of changed into what now we're calling the Worldwide Inclusion Network, or WIN. And it's going to be our ability group, our nonprofit group, yeah, working together, or collaborating. So there's something else I was gonna say to that. But anyway, we did last Friday. We held an event. Last Friday was the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. And we had a well-attended event. that where a few people gave their stories, and and so on. It was and we had Edwin, the chief happiness officer, be there. Also, the founder of the Disability Channel, Jay Stoyan, for a few minutes ago, said a little bit about the Disability Channel, which was cool. And which right, just talking about the Disability Channel. Onward and Upward is the fiscal agent of the Disability Channel. And or at least one of our bigger goals is to get a community online work center in at least every major city of the US. And the Disability Channel has a similar similar thing that they want to do with well, they're wanting to kind of do the same thing, but with their digital ventures program, where it is helping people with getting experience in the media industry, and they would like to have one of their digital ventures program in like every state, every major city as well. The Disability Channel is also all about veterans. Well, a good part of their things about veterans, along with showcasing abilities with people who have a disability. And as always, if anybody is interested in learning more, to please reach out to me and Kurt. And Kurt and I do a few other podcasts during the week. Next one being tomorrow, actually. We have a World of Ability podcast that happens every Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock PM Central. And it's about the like disability anything related to the disability world, and helping individuals with a disability. And then on Tuesdays, I have the Compassionate Citizen podcast, which keyword there is compassion. And that's at 3 o'clock PM Central. And we're involved with the World of Women, or WOW podcast, which starts like 4 hours later at 7 PM Central. Wednesdays is Prosperity Pathways podcast, which is at also at 3 o'clock Central. Dealing with employment related topics. Then a few hours later, we have Current Stability MKE Now radio show, which is also centered on for things being disability advocacy and so on. And of course, there's always this one on Fridays. But then we are also involved with a group that's out of New York and Connecticut. With one of them first writing a children's book that was based on another guy in that group, his story, named Dave Clark, who is the only person to play professional baseball crutches, professional baseball with crutches. And they have since written another book that has a number of people's stories and how everybody's pulling each other along. And they have a Indiegogo campaign going. So I think anybody interested in that, I think we are at our hour here and time. Um, so thank you for anybody who has tuned in. And encourage everybody to come back next week. And we can be reached at contact@onwardupwardinc.com or at 608-515-8227. And our website is onwardupwardinc.org. And until next time. I'll see everybody later.